Hi, everyone. It's Ellen joining you for another episode of the Sales Team Power Lunch. So, with me today, I have Daryl Dioso from Resource Management Solutions Group, and of course, Kareem Mayash from Blue Rhino Sales Solutions. So, we looked at, in 2021, we needed to make some changes to our businesses. The pandemic has had an effect on every single one of us. So, today we're going to look at some of the adaptations we've made. So, Daryl, you're first up. What have you needed to change in your business to attract new clients and to retain your existing clients in 2021?
Oh, wow. There's so much to cover off. Well, I'm going to take it on viewpoint. As you both know, and a few of our listeners know, I actually have a second company that I run with my wife called HR for You. And it's brand new, right? Trying to get it, grow it and so forth. And what a glorious time to try to grow a business, right? In the middle of a pandemic. So with that, the biggest lessons and biggest changes is having to, there's some disciplines that I've gone back to, some of the old tried, tested and true, whether it be emails or cold calls. But there's others that the pandemic's kind of forced me to kind of be comfortable with and try out, social media as first and foremost, blogging, my wife, who's an excellent writer, she's been now like writing, doing videos like this, right? And another one too is partnerships. That's really is one that I'm really trying to cultivate, right? So I've joined some memberships like associations like ORAC, which is the Refrigeration and Air Conditioning Society. I'm going to join the Dental Association as well, because HR for You is outsourced small business, outsourced human resources for small businesses. So what better avenue than to partner with these associations and offer it as a membership benefit, right? So that's
Oh,
kind of been, that's been kind of one of the main streams that I'm really looking at growing and cultivating.
got you. Got you. Kareem, are you doing basically the same, or is there anything else that you've
Yes.
introduced?
Right now I'm kind of riding the wave with LinkedIn mainly, and trying to be as much visible as possible through videos, through connecting to groups, communities, and reaching out to old friendships maybe, or connections at least first and second level. Definitely, these are things that I'm investing lots of time in, and it will be surprised how much traction can get on posting a good video and people connecting to who you are actually, behind the emails or behind that phone call that you put in. But still, everything's still good. I mean, phones are still being leveraged as usual. Emails still being leveraged as usual. But definitely, we dialed up, the dial on LinkedIn and social media more.
Absolutely. So, kind of a blend of the old and the new, right? I
Yeah.
mean, we're working our old Rolodex, which is what we've always done. But we've also introduced some really cool social media strategies that I think are proving really effective for a whole lot of businesses. So, are there any of the old techniques, Daryl, that you've used through the years that you've just kicked to the curb? They're just not working during this pandemic.
Well, I haven't kicked it to the curb, but I have scaled back cold calling. That's I've been doing a lot less than I have been before. And there was a time, especially early in my career, where it was like pure cold calling, almost outright telemarketing, where it was just like smile and dial sort of approach. That's not working now, right? The first moment, because it's just difficult. So many people don't even pick up their phones and so forth.
Mhm.
So if I am picking up the phone, it's very targeted, right? I'm very, it's not cold. Typically, I've warmed it up with an email or a social outreach of some sort, right? And then I'm reaching out to them. But just pure cold calling, I'm not having much luck with that, right? It's not really working, and people are not picking the phone. If anything, if I had to do something cold, I'm finding even like cold text is working better than cold call. I just find that's the way that people are. They don't even pick up voicemails. And some people, believe it or not, don't even have a voicemail.
hmm hmm
Yes. Kareem, anything that you're no longer using that you've just taken out of your toolkit?
Yeah, I have to agree with what Daryl is saying, in terms of, yeah, definitely people working from homes, and sometimes if you don't have a sophisticated telephony system, when we call gatekeepers, they cannot forward to home, or they ask you to send an email. And even I was reading somewhere that response rate is really low right now. So in the past, we used to say that 6 to 8 touches need for you to kind of get somebody on the phone or get somebody responding to you to generate a lead. Right now, it's way more than that. Now, I've seen a number somewhere between 12 and 16 touches to get somebody responding back to you. So going back, emails is, a response rate went down, response rate went down. So going back to something that's more personalized, maybe LinkedIn, mail and LinkedIn, and as Daryl was saying, maybe texting. This is basically right now what's getting more results than anything else right now, and educating people. So putting that blog in a community, getting feedback on it, and engaging in some conversation, educating their clients. This is something that is paramount right now. Yeah,
makes total sense. Makes me glad as well that I sold my call centers and invested in a Facebook ad account. Because you can get so much traction, so much success at a fraction of the cost using social media advertising. I was going to ask you initially, do you think you'll ever bring those methods back? But it doesn't sound like, the lack of success in cold calling is related to the pandemic. It sounds like it's just a sign of the times. So Daryl, Kareem, no go to cold calling in future?
And, I don't think so. I don't think I'll go back to it. But there are some, and oddly enough, I was just, discussing different avenues and different approaches. And one that I'm looking at bringing back, and Kareem and you and I discussed this, is old school handouts or flyouts. So whether it be like some sort of marketing material, whether it be a mouse pad, even that I'm kind of aging myself. Who uses a mouse pad now? But some sort of leave behind. I'm thinking that can gain some traction because you're at home or you're at a reduced hours at your office, to get something physical, something tangible, it'd be kind of nice. And then you can kind of connect with them. Now, when you call them or now when you email them, say, Ellen, I hope you received, our phone stand or our cell phone stand. I just wanted to reach out to you and explain, why we sent it to you, and just talk to you further and see if there's a fit. I think there's something there to revisit on that tool.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like bringing flowers on the first date. It's always a really good idea when you're doing that introduction. Yeah. And I've got to say,
I would like it, or chocolate.
when you just announced the death of the cold call, I heard 1 million people across the country, salespeople, cheering, because I know it is never anybody's favorite thing to do. No. Some of us, we've all gotten really good at it because we had to back in the day. But I'm not going to say it was ever within anybody's comfort zone. So the fact that there are other methods, it's certainly timely and very, very effective.
I'd like to add something to that. I'm a big advocate of phones, actually, because it's not okay right now in this day and age. You cannot build a business or build a pipeline using the phone only. You have to use a multi-channel, multi-touch approach. We talked about initially, at the beginning of this call that, you have to be multiple touches, and unfortunately, lots of salespeople, they give up after the third call or the third email, which doesn't get them anywhere. And we're talking, anywhere above 6 touches to get somewhere. That's in normal days, not mentioning the pandemic right now. But when we talk about the phone, is one of the direct ways to reach somebody. Now, you can leverage the voicemail as a small infomercial, and couple it with an email or maybe a LinkedIn and something on Facebook. So right now, a mix of everything will build a pipeline faster or build a business faster. But in Nosh, I agree with you on something, that using the phone alone will not get you the results that you're expecting.
Got you. So listen, there are some positives, and we've discussed a lot of them today about the way we've needed to adapt and the resiliency we've needed to show in the face of the pandemic. So listen, some positives about the way we've changed business over the past almost year now. Daryl, what have the positives been for you?
I think the biggest positive has been mindset, right? Getting over that sort of head trash that, we're in a pandemic, there's no business. Actually, that's not true. I just got a new client today, a new contract for some recruitment. There is business. And that was kind of like the biggest mindset, getting over that sort of that hurdle that, we're at home, things are horrible. No, you know what? There is activity out there. And so taking that more positive mindset and saying, okay, there is business out there, and I just need to change how I go about it, right? Just getting rid of that head trash and just soldiering on and just being laser focused, saying, look, move forward. There is business. There is life out there. Keep going. Keep going. Don't get sort of wrapped up in that sort of negative self-speak, if you will.
Very, very good point for sure. Kareem, any positives that you've taken away over the past year?
Yeah, I mean, one thing I'm seeing, empathy is really big among salespeople right now. Lots of people are talking about being empathetic with their prospects, with their customers. So the tone of voice that is basically leading the conversation is empathy. Because people are really hit hard in certain sectors, and people are you never know, got maybe hit by COVID itself. So it's always good to start with a courtesy call and include being empathetic as much as possible to the people's situation. And this is what I'm feeling, that it's really taking the game of sales to another level, because empathy always helps, and always show the other person on the other side that you understand exactly what they're going through.
Wow, so interesting. So I thought you were both going to tell me about, how you were saving time on the commute and how you didn't need to spend as much on dry cleaning and how you were getting more time with the family and with the pets and that kind of thing. But you also reminded me what great guys you are and why you do such good business, because you genuinely care about your clients and the people you work with. So very, very inspiring. So listen, thank you everyone for joining us for this episode of the Sales Team Power Lunch. For Daryl Dioso, Kareem Ayash, and myself, thank you very much, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.